Good morning, starshine.
Welcome to the real world. Whoa!
Mortgage your house and buy Bitcoin with
Breathe air.
there's no second best, okay?
Good morning, starshine.
Oops. GM. Tuesday, 13th of August, trade of the day. So, Bitcoin. How are we looking? Let's go back over, check it out as we go into economic data today that could move the market with the PPI, Producer Price Index. Obviously, the main move around this pivot would be what I'm looking most at. Feb 21 pivot, bullish above, bearish below to an extent. And, if PPI doesn't come in with anything extraordinary, I don't think there's going to be enough of a move here. I think that before CPI, which is tomorrow, I think before CPI we can take one of these levels, at least, the stops at either the high or the low of this range, because that is only Monday's low and Monday's high. So we can look at Monday's range now that we've seen it develop. We go from Monday open, which is over here. I'll go to 15-minute chart, get more data. Let's look at Monday's range and use that to frame the beginning of our week. Monday to Monday close, which is here. And here we are. So you got Monday's value area high above, value area low below, and here we are. So with Monday's levels set, I think that pretty simple. If it accepts below Monday's VAL, we take out Monday's low. If it accepts above the VAH, we take out Monday's high. Trade wise, the upside probably does offer a trade. There is probably a day trade you could have in there, 59.8, 59.9 towards about 60.9, sorry. That's probably a decent trade on low time frames. This part, I'm not sure if it's really worth taking 58.2 just down to 57.4. It might be better to wait for that to happen and see how the reaction goes, because if it takes these lows and the reaction can't get back up with the pivot and starts to consolidate there, that's where you're looking at a proper unwind down to 55 over here. So you're looking at a proper unwind down to some of the inefficiencies down here, if not even on down to 53. So on the downside, I don't think I would short it into that low, but if it fails a reclaim, I think that's a good area then to trade continuation. And then on the upside, I will be looking at, because even as it gets back up to here, I'd still expect some resistance above. So if it flips that level, I think there's a trade to be had. And if it loses that level, there's probably a trade to be had as well. Otherwise, Monday's range is quite narrow. We got a little bit of volatility around the New York Open, and the rest of the time is spent consolidating. So when that happens, new positions will come in. And if price starts to grind up, which it's not doing yet, you get the volatility around New York Open, right? So you have a dump, you have a rally, and that resets positioning, right? Positions before New York Open, longs get flushed out, not fully. Shorts get taken out, price drops back down. So the short-term positioning gets moved and reset there. And now new positions start to build. There's no clear indication of where these positions are building to, right? Market bottomed out around 58.5, pushed up towards about 59, nearly 60, back down. If it was starting to climb up, and if it does start to climb up more, you'd look at that as a potential for a move higher. But it's really just showing nothing. It obviously appears weaker as it's got resistance, but below us you have pretty strong, at least local support. You've got pretty strong support there. So yeah, you've got a slightly bearish leaning chart, but it's above support. So you don't really want to short down into that. And you certainly don't have enough confirmation here that you could get long. And that's why I think a long above here is better, and a short, if it loses and retests that, is better there. So that'll be like the shorting idea would be over there somewhere. And the long idea would be if it reclaims back above here. We'll see what the number is. That's 12:30 UTC. So in a couple hours. That's where the PPI number comes out. And I don't expect that to move the market massively. Wednesdays will be more impactful, which is CPI over here. Most likely, at least that's the tendency. CPI tends to have more of an impact than PPI. And that's about it. Relatively quiet day, I would expect. Not one to overtrade unless you see some volatility coming in. Quick moves, take profit fast, don't overstay your welcome. All of those things still apply until Bitcoin shows more of a higher time frame directional. Next move. GM.